Hello, Broken Arrow. This is City Council Rewind for the meetings on February 4th, 2025. I am Aaron McCulloch, the Director of Communications for the City of Broken Arrow, and this is Vice Mayor Johnnie Parks. Mr. Parks, thank you for joining us today.
Well, it's good to be here.
It's good to see you again. Good meeting last night.
Thought the meeting went well. It was over pretty quickly. Decisions were made. So, yes, it was good.
A lot of good stuff here. Three things that we wanted to talk about. The first was City Manager Michael Spurgeon brought an update to Council just about the planning process for the 2026 General Obligation Bond. Do you want to expand a little bit on what it was that he said and where we are in the process now and what's ahead?
Well, he does a good job of bringing us up to date on this bond issue that we're going to be looking at in 2026. Starting to look at getting citizens' input, and City Manager Spurgeon does a great job of getting out in the community, and then the community come in, invite them in, let them know what's going on. I think that it was great that he sticks with that, as he always brings it up, that it's no new taxes. And I think it's important that the council do that, and every meeting that's put it out is that there's no new taxes in this bond issue. Our last bond issue ended up around $211 million, I believe. 10-year bond issue took us 8 years, 7 to 8 years to pay it off. So we're excited to get this going a couple of years earlier. He talked about several things that was looking at. Certainly the group meetings in the future. Mm-hmm. We don't know the exact amount that we are able to borrow. We won't know that until August, until all the data gets in. And then we'll continue, as he said, go out into making groups of people making decisions. But it's important that we get feedback now as we do. He mentioned a couple items that might be on there, because everything's a might now.
That's right.
This all goes to the council. It goes to the group meetings that we'll have toward the end of the year, and let the citizens decide on what they want. So they're going to have a large amount, and they're going to have to narrow it down or help us narrow it down to where it can be affordable. And some of the things he mentioned I thought was very important. One was a new item, and he said that publicly, so I can say this publicly, is that possibly going in with our library system, our county library system, to build a new library. And that's extremely important. That library that they have there in South Broken Arrow is a good library, but it's small. Mm-hmm. Run by a good group of people running that library, and to know that we could potentially be involved with part of that expansion is really good. So we continue to look at those things that are important in that bond issue, because that really is important to us. Streets are always there, and we talked about that last night, what streets would probably be first bid out afterwards. We're already looking at the engineering, have the money for the engineering. Now we just need the money for the streets as they come along for the bond issue.
It's going to be a busy but yet exciting 14 months as we head towards that 2026 bond. So you can check out those updates. That's going to be during every regular meeting of the City Council. City Manager Spurgeon is going to provide those, and then we'll do a little recap of those for you. And so you'll have a monthly update on what the process looks like for the GO bond in 2026. Speaking of GO bonds, we're going to go back to 2018 bond, and one of the projects on that's the gardens at Central Park. Council approved a change order last night. What was this change order? And just let me know how excited you are about this project that's happening at Central Park.
Well, I'll go back even further than that. You know, when the city manager, and I pointed this out last night, when he came to town here, we had a lot of different bond issues items that hadn't been completed yet. And that was one of the first jobs he did, is bring together a construction staff to get those bond issues done, because it's getting hard to sell bonds if you don't complete the ones that you've already committed to doing. And that's one of the first things he did. And so she's looking to wind up all these on the 2018 bond issue. But this is going part of our Rose District identification, really. It's what I call a Rose Park. Mm-hmm. And it's at Central Park. And it's a huge rose garden type park, and we're just excited about it. It's running close to $500,000. Different individuals, different groups have been involved and donated money to that. Part of different bond issues have come into play. But what we added last night was just doing a little under $10,000, and that was to run a large electric line from one of the electric poles on the perimeters of the park, so they'll have electricity for different events or different things that need to run with electricity. So yes, I'm always excited to get to see these getting to be tied together. So it's going to come together soon.
It's really looking good. We got some drone video just a few weeks ago of it, and just looking at it from the air, you can really start to see where the paths, where you're going to be able to walk, the spaces where the benches will be, where you'll be able to sit and just reflect, read a book, just take in the sights and the sounds, that sort of thing. The pergola is up, looks very nice. It's going to be a really nice place to just go and relax.
And it's really easy for it to become part of the Rose District because it's so close to the Rose District. As the Rose District reaches out to the south and maybe even to the north some, but that's going to be a big lot forward to developing as part of that southern part of the Rose District as it moves out. So I was really excited about it and mentioned it last night.
Something else that you were really excited about, and that's this upcoming trip to Washington, D.C. in March for the National League of Cities Conference. Last night, you all looked at a potential list of priorities that you'll take with you to speak with some of our federal delegation, and you're also taking the U City Council. Talk just a little bit about, I see you've underlined a couple of different things here as far as the priorities list are concerned. Talk about some of those things that are somewhat important to you.
Well, there was, we take the list, the National League of Cities that we go to every year and we're members of, are a group that visit with our representatives at the Capitol and lobby, if you will. And the NLC kind of brings together our own ideas. Now, all of our ideas are not exactly the same as NLC's, so we have our own input and our own committees, but we bring those forth. But there's several things that we sign up for that we feel like is important. So we take a list to our representatives or any representatives that we can visit with. One of them is the interchanges at Elm, Highway 51 and Lynn Lane. Broadband support, for computer systems. I think that supply chain bottlenecks coming out of COVID, there was a lot of bottlenecks. And
we're still feeling that pain.
Making sure that we try to right that because it's still difficult to get some things. So we have a list, and we'll take a list with us. We're concerned about the inflation. So those are things that will be on our list that we take. Now, as far as the U City Council, I could talk about it for several hours, and you don't really have time for that. But the city does. We sponsor a U City Council. 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And their seniors, when they get to be seniors in the 12th grade, we take them to Washington, D.C. for a week. And they get to visit with our representatives. We take them to the Capitol building and to visit with them. So they learn a lot about the process visiting at the Capitol. We teach them about government, about local government, state government, and then we move to the federal government. And so doing, we take them to Washington, D.C. One of the requirements is they have to go with us. We take them on a tour of the Arlington Cemetery. I was stationed there during the military, and I enjoy that. Washington, D.C. is just like a second home for myself and my wife. We did live there. But it's an opportunity to take the kids, spend the 3 or 4 hours, honoring those who sacrificed their lives for our country and what that means. But we try to get them to the important places. You can't see all of Washington in 2 or 3 days, but we look forward to it, and the kids look forward to it.
Well, we look forward to hearing about the trip whenever you return in about mid-March, I suppose it is. There were about 30 other items on the agendas, and for more information, you can go to the city website and click on Agendas and Minutes in the Government section. Click on the date range drop-down list and then select the governing body. Find the meeting date of your choice and select the meeting details. Okay, that's it for this edition of City Council Rewind. Vice Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. Any parting words?
Well, I enjoyed getting to speak and look forward to seeing our citizens in our Rose District or around town, anywhere. But look forward to it.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you for watching. This is a production of the City of Broken Arrow, the city where opportunity lives.